This old man suddenly realizes that the CEO's driver is secretly drinking on the job, and the boss is about to come downstairs. He knows he shouldn't meddle, but his strong sense of responsibility makes him step in.
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but I just happened to have looked out the window and it appeared you were drinking something from a paper bag.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Why don't you tell her you can't drive it today or I'm going to have to?
The old man cleverly gives the driver a way out, leaving the choice up to him. After escorting the CEO to the car, the driver hesitates, but the old man's stern look is a clear warning. The driver has no choice but to call in sick for the day. And just like that, the old man becomes the CEO's temporary driver. Soon after, he drops the CEO off at her destination. Before leaving, she casually mentions she's starving and hurries into the building. But he takes those words to heart. While waiting, he grabs her some takeout from a nearby restaurant.
You really didn't have to do. Oh my god, that smells so good.
Good.
Hard to believe this flawless, detail-oriented man is just an intern. The reason he's working at his age? He saw a hiring flyer from an internet startup looking for senior interns over 65. Seeing the office was in an old remodeled factory, Ben was instantly intrigued. He recorded the required application video, looking as enthusiastic as a fresh college grad.
I read once musicians don't retire. They stop when there's no more music in them. Well, I still have music in me. Absolutely positive about that.
On interview day, Ben combs his hair perfectly and dresses impeccably. The moment he arrives, he knows he's got it in the bag. There are very few senior applicants, and among his competition, there's even an old guy carrying an oxygen tank. Before retiring, Ben worked for 40 years as the VP of a phone book company. Faced with Ben's massive experience, the interviewer looks incredibly green.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
When I'm 80.
And just like that, a 70-year-old max-level boss becomes an ordinary intern. That night, Ben is thrilled. He prepares his tailored suit, shines his premium leather shoes, and sets out his decades-old vintage briefcase.
Back in action. Thank God.
Before bed, Ben sets 2 alarms, his excitement for the first day peaking. Before the alarm even rings the next morning, Ben is already raring to go. The company's hustle culture is intense. Ben learns that the CEO, Jules, grew the company 10x in just 18 months. To save time, she even rides a bicycle inside the office. Ben sits between 2 young guys, opens his vintage briefcase, and takes out a flip phone, a calculator, and a desk clock. The guy with glasses can't help but stare. These relics from the last century seem completely out of place. Ben stares at a black screen, having no idea how to turn on the computer. His coworker doesn't laugh, just taps the keyboard to help him out. Then, Ben receives an email. He's assigned as Jules's personal intern. Hearing this, his coworkers immediately feel sorry for him.
Unfortunate.
Jules tells him to meet her at 3:55 p.m., and he must be punctual, because she has another meeting at 4 o'clock. Before going in, Ben asks her secretary if there's anything Jules absolutely hates.
Don't forget to blink.
Blink.
Ben thought Jules would assign him actual work, but unexpectedly, Jules thinks the senior intern program is just a PR stunt. She even offers to transfer him to an easier department. Ben refuses. He's not here to just kill time. He tells her he wants to be her intern, and purposefully blinks hard at her. Jules is surprised, but agrees. Before leaving, Ben politely asks if she wants the door closed.
Doesn't matter. Open, actually. You get used to me.
Look forward to it.
Jules smiles. In just a 2-minute meeting, she actually gets a good impression of the old man. From that day on, Ben practices blinking naturally every night, eagerly waiting for Jules to give him tasks. But for days, Ben is left on the bench. Jules seems to have forgotten he exists. Even so, as long as Jules is working, Ben voluntarily stays late. As time passes, Ben hates sitting idle. He starts wandering around departments, learning the company's business model. If anyone needs help, he's always the first to step up. Though Jules ignores him, seeing his dedication, she can't help but respect him. One day, Ben finally gets his first email. Jules stained her jacket and asks him to take it to the dry cleaner. At this time, Jules is in a meeting. Turns out, investors are doubting her leadership. As the company scales rapidly, they want to hire a more experienced CEO, handing over the company she built from scratch. Jules naturally refuses, but deep down, she knows. She's stretched way too thin, and operational problems are piling up. This overwhelming sense of powerlessness leaves her feeling defeated. Just then, Ben comes in for the jacket. Jules awkwardly hides her tears, and tosses the jacket over her shoulder. After his errand, Ben quietly watches Jules. She sits alone in the conference room, looking incredibly lonely. Actually, over the past few weeks, Ben noticed that beneath her tough exterior, she is full of anxiety. Ben understands her struggles, and decides to do something about it. The next morning, the moment Jules walks in, she notices the messy desk that always stressed her out is completely spotless.
Oh my god, somebody cleaned up that desk.
What surprises her even more is that the person who cleaned it is Ben, the intern she's been ignoring.
Ben came in at 7 this morning and did it.
Brilliant! Thank you! Best thing that's happened around here all week.
Ben's thoughtful gesture subtly melts away a lot of Jules's stress. To reward Ben, Jules hires an in-office masseuse. She's beautiful, and around Ben's age, there's an instant spark between them. Her hands work magic. Ben completely relaxes, and he even has a physical reaction. 2 co-workers exchange a glance, clearly noticing what's happening. The chubby guy pretends to hand him a newspaper to save him from the embarrassment.
You're not as old as I thought you were.
Ben starts loving office life more and more. He becomes buddies with the younger guys, and they all admire him for his decades of discipline in class. He even officially becomes the CEO's driver and assistant. One day, Ben drives Jules to meet a CEO candidate, but less than an hour later, Jules storms out. She absolutely despised the guy. His arrogance and condescension insulted her. Ben stays quiet, letting Jules vent her frustration. Once they get to her house, Ben finally speaks his mind.
You started this business all by yourself a year and a half ago, and now you have a staff of 220 people. Remember who did that?
Who? Thank you.
And I hate to say it, but try to get some sleep.
After that, Ben becomes Jules's permanent driver. One morning when Ben arrives, Jules's husband answers the door. As Jules's career took off, he stepped back to handle the family, becoming a full-time stay-at-home dad. Normally, Jules pours all her energy into the company. She's a perfectionist. Even for how to pack shipping boxes, she goes to the warehouse to teach them personally. Watching this, Ben's eyes are full of admiration. He can only imagine the immense pressure Jules carries to reach this level. But what he didn't expect is that not everyone respects her success. The school moms constantly passive-aggressively judge Jules. In their eyes, even though she's a successful CEO, her lack of time for her kid makes her a bad mother. Ben notices Jules's discomfort and kindly tells her to ignore them, but Jules hates feeling like she's being analyzed. She texts her VP, asking him to transfer Ben to another team. Back at the office, Jules works late again. She looks up and sees Ben is still there, clearly waiting for her to finish. Jules walks over with pizza and soda, inviting him to eat together. For the first time, they chat like friends. Jules is curious. What exactly did this wise, poised man do before retiring? Ben modestly reveals he was the vice president of a phone book company. Jules is stunned. Then it clicks. Wasn't this very building a phone book factory? Ben nods with a smile. In that instant, Jules feels a jolt of realization.
This is where you worked?
For almost 40 years. Yeah. For 20-some years, I sat right by that window. That was my office.
No way.
I know everything about this building. Or used to. You know the sycamores on the other side of the building? The big one?
The big one. I love them.
Yeah, I remember the day they were planted.
40 years of time took away a lot, but it also left its mark. So when he saw the address on the hiring flyer, he knew he had to come back. Though his past glory is worth remembering, Ben doesn't dwell on it. He just wanted to return to his roots and start a new chapter.
It's totally weird being back here.
Well, it feels like home. It's remodeled, but home.
On the ride home, Jules falls asleep in the car, even lightly snoring. Next to Ben, she feels completely relaxed. This entirely changes her impression of him. The next morning, Jules gets in the car and realizes the driver is different. She suddenly remembers she ordered Ben's transfer yesterday. She rushes to find him. Ben is struggling to carry 8 cups of coffee. Jules feels awful and tries to apologize, but Ben beats her to it.
Jules, I apologize if I overstepped in some way.
No, please don't apologize. You have done nothing wrong. No.
Jules, no explanation necessary.
No. Actually, one is because I am usually better than this. The truth is, something about you makes me feel calm or more centered or something, and I could use that. You'll accept my apology and come back to work for me. God, I can't tell you how much I hate that I jumped the gun and I made you feel
I'm coming back. I'm happy to come back.
Just like that, Ben not only becomes her assistant again, but gains her full trust. She tells her secretary that from now on, Ben needs to review all documents first. The secretary breaks down in tears. She has a business degree and works overtime daily, but never gets any validation from Jules. Ben comforts her, suggesting she needs to relax a bit. With his years of experience, Ben quickly spots a major flaw in their marketing.
It seems the most expensive place you're advertising is actually bringing the customers who are spending the least, and the channels you're least investing in are adding enormous value in segments that currently appear to have low value but actually have the highest spending potential.
Jules stops micromanaging, like she used to. She confidently lets Ben handle things, which surprises even her top executives. Before leaving, Ben casually mentions the secretary's degree. Jules realizes she rarely shows appreciation to her team, and promises to praise her later. A few days later, the website crashes, and the warehouse has health code issues. Jules is stressing out. Then, her mom calls. Their relationship is strained. Her mom constantly complains about Jules being busy, but never tries to understand her. Hearing Jules typing on the phone, her mom ruthlessly criticizes her. After hanging up, Jules is furious. She tries to vent to her husband in an email, but right as she hits send, she makes a fatal mistake. A few minutes later, panic sets in. It's over. If her mom reads that email, their relationship is ruined forever. She asks her IT guys to hack her mom's computer and delete it, but they tell her that's impossible. In this do-or-die moment, Ben steps up to save Jules again.
Me and the boys take off, we break into your mom's house, and we steal her computer.
Break into her house and steal the computer? Are you kidding me? It's freaking genius.
Ben quickly drives the crew to the house. He finds the hidden key, and the alarm starts ticking the second they enter. The younger guys are visibly panicking, but Ben remains totally calm. He splits them up to find the computer. In a tense 60 seconds, the alarm sirens get closer. Finally, the glasses guy finds the laptop. He opens the inbox, deletes the email, and to be absolutely safe, puts the laptop back exactly as it was. Ben leads the crew out, only to realize their getaway driver is blasting music, completely oblivious. Seconds later, they finally make a clean escape. That night, Jules treats them to drinks. Unable to express her gratitude, she praises Ben for being a true gentleman. But somehow, even though the crisis is averted, Jules's internal stress won't let her go. She drinks until she throws up. Ben hands her a handkerchief and gently pats her back. Around Ben, Jules can finally drop her armor. She is just so tired. She leans her head on Ben's shoulder. This gentle, grounded man always knows how to calm her anxious mind. Actually, over the past few months, it's not just Jules. All the co-workers have changed positively because of Ben. The guy with glasses bought a vintage briefcase just like his, and the chubby guy started wearing a suit and tie. They all want to be like Ben, classy and reliable. And Ben gained a lot too. Since his wife passed away, he's been alone for years. But now, he finally worked up the courage to ask out the masseuses. And their date location? A funeral. At 70, they've experienced it all. They don't need to play games to know if the other person is right for them. But on the other hand, Jules's marriage hits a breaking point. Ben comes to pick her up for work, but finds her daughter crying. Her dad has a cold and can't take her to a friend's birthday party. She begs Ben to take her instead. Ben agrees. After dropping the girl off, the moms find out Ben is Jules's assistant and start gossiping about whether Jules is hard to work with.
Tough, Jules, sure, she's a total badass. I guess that's how she became an internet sensation. Must make you guys proud, huh? One of your own out there every day crashing the glass ceiling of the tech world? So bravo, good for her, right?
Yeah.
On the way back, Ben sees Jules's husband walking out of the house. He gets into a car parked on the street. The next second, their intimate interaction instantly breaks Ben's heart. He's terrified the little girl will see, so he stays parked far away. Only after the car leaves, does he take the girl home? Back at the office, Ben can't bring himself to look Jules in the eye. He wants to tell her the truth, but he doesn't want to break her heart. Jules senses something is wrong, but no matter how she asks, Ben insists he's fine. A few days later, Ben accompanies Jules on a business trip. Jules is extremely nervous about an upcoming meeting. She still hasn't decided between her family and her company. At the hotel, she invites Ben into her room. The reason is simple. She just really needs a friend right now. Ben is a bit stiff, but Jules tells him to relax, so he carefully sits on the edge of the bed. Both seem weighed down by heavy thoughts. After a moment, Jules suddenly asks about Ben's marriage.
Will you tell me about your wife? She was great, right?
She was. Molly was her name. She was a middle school principal. Beloved.
So perfect. Long marriage?
Not long enough. 42 years.
Oh, what was that like?
You know when people say they want to grow old together? Well, we did that.
To be married for 42 years and still say it wasn't long enough, Jules deeply envies such pure love, but it also forces her to confront the obvious crack between her and her husband.
I got a weird one for you. Matt is cheating on me.
Wait a minute. You know about this?
Ben is shocked. He finally admits he saw everything that day. In this moment, Jules breaks down. She can handle any business crisis, but facing her husband's betrayal is constantly tearing her apart inside.
I want to give up on him. I know him, and I know he knows better. But I am only human, and I am so mad at him.
Jules still holds out hope. Maybe if she hires a CEO and returns to her family, their marriage can be fixed. But Ben knows she shouldn't do this.
But you should be able to have a huge career and be who you are without having to accept that your husband is having an affair or some kind of payment.
Jules shows a vulnerability she has never shown before.
That I don't want to be buried alone. I will be buried in the stranger single section of the cemetery. Not that that is a reason to stay together, but it's just, a scary sidebar.
Let's take that one off your plate. Right now, you can be buried with me and Molly. I happen to have space, okay?
Thank you so much.
And just like that, comforted by Ben, Jules falls asleep. But Ben's mind is racing. A couple on the TV screen tearfully express their love. Watching this, Ben's eyes well up with tears. He misses his late wife so much. In a way, he is just like Jules, afraid of being lonely and longing to be loved. The next day, Jules finishes her interview. Ben can tell she really likes this candidate. She decides to hire him, but her expression still shows hesitation. That night, she tells her husband her decision. He forces a smile, knowing she's only doing this for him. The next morning, Jules knocks on Ben's door. She already knows the answer, but just needs a little courage. And Ben is the exact person to give her that push.
I never had anything like this in my life. Not many people do. This big, beautiful, exciting thing that you created. It's a dream, isn't it? And you're going to give that up in the hopes that your husband will stop having an affair? I don't see how that adds up. You should feel nothing but great about what you've done. And I'd hate to see you let anyone take that away from you. guess you came over here because you wanted to hear some of this.
And so, at a crossroads in life, Jules met a wise, seasoned man. He is like water, calm, yet full of energy. With Ben's guidance and support, Jules finally makes the right choice. She rejects the new CEO and confronts her husband honestly. Whether it's her business or her marriage, she refuses to run away anymore. Ben has this incredible magic that naturally draws people in. Even at 70, he still wants to prove his worth through hard work. Even with no tasks, he finds ways to add value. That spotless desk is the perfect proof. He is genuine. Despite decades of experience, he never talks down to anyone. He only steps in when someone truly needs help. When Jules was feeling lost, Ben told her, "You're never wrong to do the right thing." This dedication and class is seen everywhere in Ben's life. His neatly tied tie, his classic vintage briefcase, his perfectly organized desk. There's also a subtle detail about Ben. Every time he stands up, he buttons his jacket. This ingrained habit of etiquette makes everyone around him feel deeply respected. But most importantly, Ben is the master of his own pace. Just like Tai Chi, breathing in and out, finding balance. He has found true harmony in life. He doesn't dwell on the past, and he doesn't fear the future. His ability to focus on what truly matters might just be the ultimate cure for our modern anxiety. If you ever feel lost, try listening to your inner voice. Slow down and take a breath. I hope you can be just like Ben, always keeping your passion for life and the courage to start over.